polygamy. You're happily married.
Yeah.
You know, like one of the most interesting things I think, like what we just spoke about, is, I think it's important. And during this conversation, we're not telling people to go out there and have threesomes, foursomes, tensomes,
Exactly.
whatever.
Exactly.
Listen, whatever works for whatever person,
Yeah.
it works for them.
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on polygamy?
Well, I'm probably one of first per first person I know,
Mm,
yeah, as in myself,
mm,
that actually in this generation, because I don't know nobody else that actually believes in polygamy.
mhm.
And it's not that it's not that
Well, it's not that you want too
I
much
don't
sex.
get jealous. No, yeah, so it's not
Oh,
that I don't get jealous,
okay.
or it's not about the sexual part.
Yeah.
To be honest, it probably is. But at the same time,
Yeah.
I think everybody deserves a break.
Mm,
We all deserve a break.
interesting.
So for me to be in a relationship for this long, we have breaks. You go on holiday, you go with the lads, I go with the girls. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, for me, I've been pregnant a lot, but
Yeah.
my thing about polygamy, obviously, growing up in a Ugandan household,
Yeah.
is something that we saw and it was normalized.
It's true.
Yeah. But a lot of like cousins I know and friends, or, they don't want that. They're like, no, I don't want to share. Same dick. I can't be doing that. Like he's sticking it in her and sticking it in me. But then again, like I said, I always think about the future. How is it going to benefit me? Now, I know when I get to menopause,
On a quick one, yeah.
yeah,
Sorry to even cut you, darling. You said in the future something about it benefiting you,
it's
or
going to benefit me.
you and your man in general. So you're just talking about
Me
this
and
benefit.
my man.
Okay, cool.
Do you
I
get
just
what
want
I'm
to, I
trying
just
to
want to
say?
clarify that
Yeah, yeah,
in case
yeah,
some
yeah.
people are hearing this and thinking, "Oh no, this selfish or my cousin or not." I wanted to clarify that
Yeah,
benefiting you and your relationship just in general.
exactly.
Okay.
Because I know that the person I'm with, obviously, I love the person and I trust this person as well.
Yeah.
So we're in a relationship where we understand each other. Now, I know that there's going to come a time in my life where my sex drive's going to drop. Yeah. And I realized this very early on. Yeah. When you go through menopause, it drops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would I want my man to go out there and cheat? And I don't know. Or would I want to give him permission so he knows what he's walking into, and so do I? Because I know it will break me if I was to find out that he was cheating, or do you know what I mean? Like those are lies within a relationship. Like I said to you, trust has plays a big role in a marriage. Yeah. So I can now trust I could trust my husband enough to actually have these conversations
Yeah.
at the younger age that we're at right now.
I think,
Mm,
to be fair with you as well, yeah. I
mm-hmm,
think one of the things I pre, yeah, like, not this what makes you unique as well, by the way.
mm,
Like us having this conversation, not everybody's open minded like that. Like
true,
what you said as well. Some people
true.
just simply just look at it like, I don't want to share my man, or I don't want to share my
Exactly.
woman. But I feel like these are the benefits of, like, like when you can see the bigger picture of certain things. Because I
Exactly.
feel like when you can see the big picture of certain things, you can actually like have a different outlook on that specific thing, rather than
Exactly.
just having this one thing. No, I just want to keep one person. So you, like you said, once you me proper listening to you for the first time speak
Mm,
about how open you are with polygamy,
yeah.
I get this picture from you. You're looking at years to come. You're not just looking
Basic.
at right now. You're
Exactly.
literally looking at for the future, for years to come.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's quite important for
It's a
people to
healthy
understand.
lifestyle, isn't it? It's a
Yeah,
healthy lifestyle. A man's
yeah,
always gonna have a higher sex drive than a female.
yeah,
And that's something that us females have to actually agree.
yeah.
Yeah. We have to deal with it. And I feel like men can't be honest with us in about polygamy because they fear that literally we will leave. But the reason as to why we would leave is because we don't want to listen to the man when he's telling us, look, this is how my sex drive is and this is what I like. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I say it's very important to spice up your love life, especially now in your younger years. Like just because you have kids doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying, like you can't try new things. You can't say, sometimes just go to a hotel. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
But women will go. Your husband will take you to a hotel and you want to have an argument.
Crazy.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then now the nigga goes and cheats, and you're thinking, oh, he thought he was gonna be a polygamy man.
Right, these things actually, it's reality. You're talking
It's actually reality, isn't it?
You're talking reality, man.
It's reality, and it's hard for men to actually vocalize. Look, babe, this is what I want to do. Yeah, my husband is, I think, because I'm the first person that he's come across that said that to him, it scared him. He thought, what's the catch?
Okay.
He literally thought, what is the catch?
What she
I was
set
like,
me up?
yeah, like she said me, ah, what is this? I've never heard a woman say this.
Yeah.
But when I explained to him, and it's taken years, maybe, let me even say, maybe in the last 2 years, that's when he's like,
All
do you
right.
know what? Maybe I'll be open to it. I'm a Muslim man and I could understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's only now where he's like, oh, Rush is actually for real. Like for real, for real.
And
But I fear her because she's so real.
yeah. And also, like, us as men, yeah,
Yeah.
we are, I feel like, not speaking for him, for me, innit?
Yeah.
I feel like if you was my woman and you said that, remember, by default, like history says, usually
Yeah.
it's the men who usually brings these ideas and say, I want
Yeah,
woman
exactly.
or whatever. So now imagine you being my woman and now you're the one who's bringing this onto the table, like your chef, this and that. Of course, by default, like for the first time, I'll be like, huh? Like, what's going on
Is
here?
she
Just
crazy?
like, yeah, like, is she?
What's the catch?
What's the catch? Yeah,
Has she
man.
got a man?
Like, that's absolutely, that's actually funny, man. So even like, we live in very interesting times at the moment, innit?
Exactly.
And I love having these conversations where it's like we could go in so many different avenues. Yeah? Do you get like, are you excited about the future?
Mm.
Are you concerned about the future? Like, are you optimistic? Like your future, your kids' future, people around you, even the country, the economy, all of these things, just like in general as a broad, isn't it? Like,
I think that in terms of my future, my kids' future, I think I have set it up in a way that I know that, for example, if my kids are not in the UK, they're going to be elsewhere. So my kids are learning. So I make sure that, for example, how I do that is by taking my kids and reminding them where they're from. Now, my kids are from like 2 different countries. Yeah. So it's like just teaching them their mother tongue, showing them that they have to know themselves. Yeah. Before they literally leave that door. Yeah. Showing them that they have to love themselves. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, that's down to us as a parent because we have to now show the kids where they're from. If you don't know where you're from, you never know where you're going. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the importance now as a parent for me is show your kids where they're from. Now I know a lot of people have hate. For example, like I was saying, you hate your family, you hate like society, you hate people around you, people within your community. But you know what's so funny? Show your kids these things. Be open to your kids. Let your kids see that this is what they're going to face in life, in reality. Do you know what I mean? Instead of hiding them and then your child leaves your door and when they come back, they're crying because you never taught them how hard life was going to be in the first place. Because we're dealing with, obviously, like you said, the technology, the social media, all of that stuff is messing with kids' heads. You're getting kids saying that they've got anxiety, they've got depression, they've got this. But what does a child know about that? And I'm not saying that kids don't have it, but why would a child have such things? Do you know what I'm saying? Because we grew up here, there was no phones, but we still managed to meet. Chef, I'm gonna meet you by Wood Green Cinema.
I still can't believe
how the hell did we do that?
And the timing.
Till
now, when people, sorry to even cut you, till now, when people speak about those days, and I'm like, it's true. I still can't fathom how we did it, but we did it. So it's like,
do you get what I'm saying?
We grew up in completely the time was different.
And kids now, their idea of playing, obviously we had Sega, PS1, PS2. Their idea of actually socializing is by talking on a PS5.
Crazy.
We couldn't talk on a PS5. We were just in a room, a bunch of us cousins on this one little TV playing game. Do you know what I'm saying? Then you're going to go to the garden. Kids now don't do things with their peers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think the world is moving too quick?
The world's moving too
Do you
quick. I'm
think
not gonna lie to
it's
you.
like
Yeah. And that's why, like, obviously you're getting people, for example, the trannies, do you know what I
mhm,
mean? No offense.
yeah.
You're getting people that don't know if they're gay or straight.
Mm,
And these are things that are literally impacting our kids now because this is what's giving them the depression because they're being fed
mm,
stuff without actually knowing who they are because a family member or the parent doesn't want to take charge and show the child this is where you're from and this is where you're going to be going.
mhm,
Do you know what I mean? Because you always have to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Yeah. And for me to look forward to that, literally, do you know what I mean? My end, I have to know what my middle is. And a lot of people get stuck in the middle because of these things. Do you know what I mean? Because of the society, because of what how this world is moving so fast. But I don't have fear in it
mm,
because I believe, yeah,
mm.
I'm teaching my kids. I'm teaching my kids like how our parents taught us. Do you know what I mean?
And that's why even sometimes I say to people like we can be concerned and
Yeah,
we can speak about all of these other things, but as parents, the first and foremost, for me, in my opinion, the best thing that you can do is to try your best, to raise your kids in whichever way that you can.
exactly.
Because at the end of the day, like the best that you can do is once your kids are at home in your, like in your environment, the
Mm,
best that you can do is to try to teach them in different ways, isn't it?
exactly.
Because we know like once they go outside there, the world
That's
is
it.
big now, and it's
It's
like
a big world.
so it's
And
like,
we had to learn the hard way, didn't we?
oh my
We
god,
had to learn the hard way.
you can
So
say
you
that
know
again.
what?
You can say that again, boy.
So because
Yeah,
we had to learn the hard way,
yeah.
yeah, we don't want our kids to learn the hard way.
Mm,
Yeah, we want to tell our kids the truth because not that our parents hid certain things, but they did. They didn't want to talk to us and advise us in certain ways. Yeah, because culture wise, it's wrong.
yeah.
I don't want my kids to feel like it's wrong for them to come to me if they're having sex, for example.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? Certain things like that. Or, right, mama started drinking. Why do you feel like you had to take that step?
mm-hmm.
Why do you feel like you have to smoke weed? Yeah. How is that going to help you? I want them to have those questions for me before they have those questions for their friends or anybody else. I want to be that parent that I'm that first contact. And I feel like for me, I've done that. Well, looking at my 13-year-old for now. For now.
You
You
have,
don't know. You don't know what happens.
but so far we have to say once again that you're doing an
Yeah.
amazing. Do you believe like beating kids? Do you believe in beating kids? Like, what are your thoughts on that just in general? Or kuba bana, kuanga man, bad to kuba. My people, I'm saying we got beats when we was
We got
younger,
beats, B.
and
We
obviously
got beats.
times are different, and a lot of people speak about it where some people feel like yeah, beating kids is good that it doesn't happen anymore,
Yeah.
and some people believe no, 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 you should bring that back. You get me? Like,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts in terms of like
Do you know
Okubabana
what?
beating kids?
My thing is, yeah, a black child needs to be beat. I don't know about any other race, but let me tell you something. A black child needs to be hit because
You
you see
sound
black kids, yeah.
sorry, Stephen, interrupt you. Thank God you're a black woman. If you was a white woman, that would have sounded crazy. Fuck me. Okay, go
Look,
on.
like do you know what? Yeah, I always think about myself, yeah, when I was younger
Okay.
and the stuff I did,
Yeah.
yeah. And let's be realistic, like realistic, chef. We deserve the beats.
9 times out of 10.
We deserve.
You know what, baby? Speak
We
for yourself.
didn't.
No, no. I'm not gonna lie. You know what?
So you were all good.
No. 9 times out of 10, you're right. 9 times out of 10, we
Yeah.
deserve to get the beats in it.
Yeah.
But speaking for me and some of our siblings are gonna watch this, then no, our dad just it's like
Used to beat
he
you.
had like a fucking what do you even call it? Like a thrill just beating some of us for no particular good reason. But again,
Auntie, you know how it goes. You've got to remember our parents came from trauma.
yeah,
They
true.
came from
Trauma,
they weren't shown love.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? So they didn't know how to love. So even the frustration, let me tell you something, chef, yeah, goes back to the marriage part, yeah. When a man is frustrated in the house, yeah, he takes the anger out on other things. That could be the child, and he doesn't mean to take the anger out on the child. Please, guys, we have to understand this, yeah, that yes, we got beats, but you see when you got those beats, but you've learned from them. I've learned as an adult that I got those beats maybe because dad was frustrated, maybe because dad's just come from Africa and he's working 2 jobs and he's not sleeping. He's coming back to our wife, he's telling him, I'm the one looking after the kids. What are you doing? Their mum also has to work. I feel like our generation, yeah, it was like we were on the move 24/7. We never got to stop till maybe when we got to our 20s.
Mm.
We were constantly on the move. So that's how our parents, if we felt it
Yeah.
and it impacted us,
Imagine our
yeah,
parents.
imagine our parents and the effect it had on them. That's why, like, sometimes I don't blame them in a way, because I've understood the trauma.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? I've understood myself
True.
and the questions of they will never accept that they did that. Because when you tell an African parent now or a black parent, you used to hit me like that, they're gonna say you're lying. That's not true. It didn't happen. But it did. This is how I was treated. Whether you choose to believe it or not, yeah, like I said, agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But because I vocalized it to you, I'm gonna move. Do you know what I mean? But me, I will beat my kids, yeah, if they do not listen to me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to teach kids in it. I'm not gonna lie, to teach kids. We need to discipline our kids.
You
It
know,
is important for us.
absolutely, it's important for us. Yeah. Even like just touching on this topic
Mm.
a bit further. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just on a quick one. Yeah. Do you feel like once again this generation of kids is different in a good or bad way? Some of these kids, like the pros and cons of some of this generation is like you've got some of these kids where mentally it's like you can tell like they're gonna like they're ahead, they're mature.
Mm.
Because I work in a school and actually realize I clock like some of these kids is like it's like you're speaking to young adults already, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. They've got this kind of thing where it's like again because they've got all of this information already, and you've got others that are just like they're trying to grow up way too quick and they're just
Yeah.
like on some crazy one.
Can
So
I just say
yeah,
though?
go on.
I feel like we were like that, but we wasn't allowed to vocalize ourselves. Like, do you know what I mean? We weren't allowed to speak. But I feel like our generation was more mature than the kids now. There's a lot that we saw and we didn't speak. Yeah, we were taught to be quiet, to be
Bingo.
silenced. That's how it was back in the day. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like kids nowadays, you're seeing that they're mature, but really and truly, the stuff that they're talking about, they don't actually know. They believe they do. It's words. A lot of this generation now, because they have the mouth and the freedom to speak, they just speak. You don't even understand what you're speaking about. Do you know what I'm saying? And like in a way, I don't not that I blame certain parents, but like parents have to teach their kids that there's a time and a place. And a lot of kids don't understand that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like back in the day, we knew time and a place, but we understood everything. I don't think about it. You at 13 or 14, you didn't understand the world. We understood a lot.
Yeah, it's true. But like what I said, yeah, it was just different times, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of these though, and plus a lot of these kids as well, they've got younger parents as well.
They've got younger
So it's
parents.
like they can feel like obviously like what you said, they can feel like they can talk more to their moms or even just in general. Like even going back to even on a quick one, the main question I wanted to ask you in terms of like, do you think kids should be beaten at school as well in this generation? That working in schools, I also realized that as well. Teachers are getting younger. So it's
Teachers
like
are getting.
completely different time.
Do you know
What are your thoughts? You know, go on.
I don't think that teachers are getting younger. I think because we are the adults now, you're thinking that.
Oh, you think
Do you
so?
get what I'm saying?
But we used to have old teachers though. Like from what I remember, anyway. Obviously, maybe yeah. Some
We
teachers were
did,
left
yeah.
over.
We had teachers in there, you could remember the boys going, "Oh yeah, Mrs. got a big bum in it. I like this." Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Do you remember that?
I nearly said some crazy things. Some crazy thing come up.
Yeah. So I feel like people ain't getting younger. It's because we're getting older.
Yes.
That's the problem. Do you know what I mean? But I do believe that, like, okay, I wouldn't say discipline in school in terms of beats, but I believe if the parents know how to discipline a child at home, outside that front door, when the child leaves and closes that door, they know how to conduct themselves in the real world. The fact that the discipline does not come from home, a child's never gonna know how to conduct themselves in the real world. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely, yeah.
I teach my son, charity begins at home. If you disrespect me, that means at school you're trying back to the teacher.
Back to the teachers.
Because you can't lie to me and tell me that, oh, mom, I didn't do that if I know you've done it to me.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You call a spade a spade.
A spade is a spade, man.
There you go.
A spade is a spade.